Alright, so today I really wanted to do a review on the Ember Mug. And I really wanted to get one of these things when it was more of a thermos. And then this mug came out and it was about half the price of the thermos. And so I said, well, I gotta pick this up because I am constantly at the office. I get pulled away to a meeting, something comes up, and inevitably I come back to a cold cup of coffee. And I hate cold coffee. So if you're like me, something like this is an absolute must. What I really like about this, and it's probably why everybody's going to buy it, but it's obvious that if you're buying this, you want warm coffee and you want it to maintain that temperature all day, every day. Good news is, with this on this coaster, it will go all day. It will maintain the temperature forever. So that's really good. When you take it off of the coaster, that's where the one big con to this comes in. There's only so much room in here for a battery. So the battery is, has about that thickness to work with from here down, which is not very much. So I'm looking at an hour, maybe just a bit over an hour before this battery is shot. So again, if I forget to keep it on the coaster or I take this into someone else's office, I set it down, whatever comes up, the battery will go flat. And you'd think, well, just throw it on the coaster, it'll charge up pretty quickly and you can take it with you again. Not exactly true. If this is maintaining temperature and it's using the heating element, it's not doing a fast charge on here. So I've even found I've got in certain circumstances where the battery died in this. I poured another cup of coffee, set it on here, and it has a little bit of a trouble maintaining temperature and charging at the same time. It seems like it defaults to maintaining temperature without charging as fast, which is probably a good compromise and probably what you'd prefer it to do. You'd probably prefer it to stay warm versus charge the battery because that is inevitably the goal of this mug. What I do like as well is they give you this nice long cord. So I've had no issues with putting this on a desk, draping the power cord down. Any situation I've been in has not been an issue. The app functions very well, and I would say if you're getting this for someone that doesn't have an app or isn't, constantly in contact with a smart device, you can set this up once and you never need to set it up again. So obviously with that you won't be able to run updates and anything like that, but you would be able to set the temperature, and the light on the front, when it's pulsating white, it means it's either cooling it down to the temperature you've set or it's heating it up to the temperature you've set. When it's a steady white, then it's reached that temperature. So really, you don't even need a device hooked up to it all the time, which is good news. On the bottom, you see these 3 rings here for charging, and it also has a little physical button to turn it on, off, get into different pairing modes, and things like that. So I've had this for 6 months, and would I buy it again? Absolutely. I've been very happy with this mug. One cool thing that they don't really advertise is that this mug stays perfectly cool on the outside. So you can pick it up like this. If you've got nicer furniture and you're used to putting a coaster down, you don't need to with this because it has a soft rubber bottom to it. Most mugs kind of have that ceramic, scratchable type of surface to it. This does not. This is a nice rubber ring on it. And there's no chance that this is moving anywhere. It's not scratching anything, and it stays perfectly cool on the bottom as well. So what I'm going to do here quickly is a test, and I just want to show you, and let's find out how accurate this temperature is versus what the app shows. Alright, so on this main screen here you can see the mug is empty. I'm going to go ahead and pour my coffee in right out of the pot. And as you can tell, it immediately picked up on what was going on there. So this coffee is, again, it's right off the pot and it's showing 168 degrees. And in the app you'll see the lines are going down. So on the very bottom under the 139 degrees is where I like my coffee. You can see that that is ticking down, showing that it is actually cooling off, that this coffee is too hot. So on the front of the Ember Mug again, you'll see a white pulsating light, and that is just indicating that it is working on changing the temperature and getting it down to where you want it to be. So within the app, if we click on the settings, this is where you'll see the battery life. So this is showing we're at 99%, and it does not take battery to cool down the cup. It's just letting the ambient air get that to happen. So temperature is ticking down. We can also control our brightness, and the brightness is the brightness of the light on the front of the mug. The other cool thing is you can personalize the mug. So you can change it to whatever color you want. So that light on the front, if you and your spouse both have this style of mug, you can set it to whatever you want, and when you pick up that mug, that light turns on, so it shows you whose is whose. So that's a nice little touch. You can also change the units from Fahrenheit to Celsius. And we'll go back. You can also have notifications on or off. The notifications are usually battery life, and so it'll tell you when the battery is too low, and it'll also tell you when your perfect temperature has been obtained. So then we've got firmware available. Mug is up to date. So it's kind of cool that it shows you that. Let's go back and see what our temperature is doing. So we're down to 162 and 161, and it's ticking down. If we go into this side, it shows you all of the information, the version of the app, and all that good stuff. So let's wait until it ticks down to 139, and then we're going to do a little test and see how accurate this is. Alright, so as you can see here, hope the camera picks that up, but the white light is now a steady light, which means we have gotten to that magical 139 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this thermometer I've got. It's actually meant to be a meat thermometer, and I find it to be very accurate. So I just want to see here what the reading is on this mug, and just kind of going through final thoughts. Very happy. Again, the battery life is something I think could be improved upon a little bit, but overall it's satisfactory in that regard. And then also the finish is somewhat kind of discoloring. I'm not sure that it's actually peeling, but it is discoloring slightly on the bottom. So that's just something to keep in mind. Also, another tip here, do not put this in the dishwasher. I don't even submerge mine in water. I'll just get some dish soap, I'll put it inside, kind of wipe it out. But I just don't want to submerge anything electronic, even though it says that you can. So interesting to note here, it is showing 142 degrees. So we are within 3 degrees of what the mug says. And actually, now that I took it off of the bottom, it's dropped down to 140. So that's right there. I mean, to me, that's perfectly acceptable to be within 1 degree of what the mug says. And again, it's probably due to the bottom being a little bit warmer than the top. So actually, if you're measuring this, it should be at the top, because that's what you're drinking out of. So dead on as far as accuracy goes in my mind. And again, you cannot go wrong with this mug, and I can highly recommend it for $80. 150 I felt was a little stout for the big thermos version, but for this, $80, you can get one for you, one for a loved one, and be very happy and never drink cold coffee again. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like my videos. Hit the like button if you like this one, and we'll see you in the next video.